Hi everyone, today we are doing an overview of the small and the large ink blending brushes. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, this is Tanya here, and today I am doing an overview of all to use ink blending brushes. So I've got the two brushes here. So I've got the larger one here, which was released about a month or so ago, and it comes with this own little carrier a holder which you can slide the brush in so that it fits in nicely, and you can lock it into place with a slight click. And if you wanted to, you could mount it to a wall as well on the flat side so that it can live somewhere. And the smaller brushes as well, I'm placing the two brushes side by side. The smaller brushes come as a set of four in a box. I am going to keep the packaging actually so that I don't lose any of my brushes and they have somewhere to live. Now, size comparison, the larger one is just slightly under 2 inches. I'd say it's about 1.75 inches wide, and the smaller one is about an inch across, which means that it can be really good for tight, compact areas, smaller areas that you want to do some blending with. You can easily do some stippling with these as well. I show you some stippling effects with them. And the brushes are nice and white, and they're going to absorb all the lovely colors that we use them with, and they're very, very soft as well. So to start off, I am going to be doing an art journal background, and I'm going to be creating a soft blended background using the brushes. So what I've done is I've loaded up the brush with my ink. All of the inks that I'm using will be listed on the YouTube channel in the description box and on the blog as well, along with links. And what I'm doing is after loading it up, I'm just slightly tapping it on my surface so that the ink sort of sinks into the bristles a little bit. So I'm not getting any harsh lines. And I'm focusing on getting the edges to blend out as much as possible. And I am switching it around, and you will see me use the same brush to do the other side. Now you can do this, or you can have two brushes as well. And these brushes are also really easy to clean. If they get really, really inky, you can wash them using some soap and water, or you could just wipe off the excess ink on a kitchen towel or a microfiber cloth or using a baby wipe. They're very easy to clean. Some staining is quite normal, but that doesn't affect their blending abilities. Now, I'm not being super careful to really blend them that much because I'm going to be doing some layering on top. But as you can see, without that much effort on my part, I was still able to get that lovely gradient effect in between, where the two colors merge and form a third color, that beautiful purple color in the center. So the colors that I'm using are based on the CMYK color palette. I'm using some cyan, some bluies, blue colors, some pinks, magentas, and I'm going to be using some yellow as well. Now I've got the leaf bed stencil die here, and I am just taping it down, taping my art journal page down. This is a 6x8 piece of very heavy duty cardstock that I'm using, and I'm taping down the stencil as well. This is optional because this stencil is really detailed. I wanted to tape it down just to make sure that it doesn't move around. Now, a tip on how to blend with you do brush blending with really intricate dyes like this is to just observe the direction in which the pattern is, and wherever the tips of the stencil are, you brush towards that tip so that you're not lifting up the detailed parts of the stencil, if that kind of makes sense. And I have a scrap piece of plastic so that I am not getting any of my fingerprints onto the ink, as any of my fingerprints might mark the surface and lift the ink a little bit. And I'm going over the whole thing, the blue parts and the yellow parts, where I'm getting like a slight orangey kind of color and a greeny kind of color over the blue. And I'm doing the same in the top left corner as well. So I've done some blending on the opposite sides of the corner. So I'm doing bright colors, but at the same time, they're very soft as well because of the way I've blended them. And to do some more layering effects, because that's what I'm really loving these days, I am taking some embossing paste and applying it through a palette knife on the woven stencil, which is a really delicate stencil, and I think using it with the embossing paste really does it justice, because look at how fine that detail is. And I was just absolutely thrilled with how much detail I was able to achieve with the embossing paste. The stamp set that I'm using in this video tutorial is the Beauty Within stamp die and the stencil set, because you get matching dies with this set as well as matching stencils, which come in 3 parts, which you can see me working on towards the later part of this video. Now I've stamped several flowers and the leaves as well, so that I have lots of inks, it's lots of flowers and leaves ready to go. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the small brushes now so that I can do some detailed work. So I took a little bit of ink on my small ink blending brushes and I blended it softly out. But then on the edges, I did some stippling so that I got some visual texture on the edges, and that was just using the same color. So even just using one color can give you like a tonal kind of effect. And on the tips of the flowers, I am emphasizing it again with some darker magenta pink. And to do the rest of the layering for this stencil, I'm using Tide Blue ink and another one of the small ink blending brushes to get the layered effects. And wherever the pink and blue blend together, you get this gorgeous purple color. And I'm using the same colors over and over again so that I have a repeat sort of motif in my projects. And it sort of helps to blend the whole project in together, even though it's really colorful. Some of the flowers I kept plain, some of them I left white spaces in. You could add even more details using the stamps as well. But for this video, I really wanted to highlight these beautiful Beauty Within stencil set, because I was really itching to have a go with them using the small ink blending brushes. So again, because these stencils are really fine, you need to be brushing in the opposite direction of where the detail is so that you're not lifting any of the stencils. And I assure you, it is worth being just a tiny bit more patient with these stencils. And I am a really big advocate of when you have all your supplies out, you might as well make multiples. So I'm making lots of flowers, as I knew I wanted to make 3 projects. And this way, I just feel that it's more efficient use of my time, and while I have all of my supplies out to make multiples. I'm doing the same thing with the leaves. So I'm lining the stencil up with the leaves. I'm putting down an initial layer of yellow. There's so many different ways that you can layer them. There is a guideline on how you should layer them, but I highly encourage you to experiment and try different color combinations, because the way these inks sit on top of each other is just absolutely gorgeous. Colors that should make brownie muddy kind of hues actually look quite stunning together. I mean, I layered some of the yellow on top of that secondary purple color that I got, but I was still able to get like a beautiful blended effect. So that was, I made the art journal page, and these are the card panels that I made, and I added some splatters with some black ink and made sure that they were dry off camera. And I also die cut all the flowers out using the matching die set for the Beauty Within stamp set. And off camera, I faffed around, as I often share with you guys, and made sure that I was happy with how the flowers were laid out on my projects. So once I was happy with the placement of the elements, I stamped down some of the sentiments with Obsidian ink, with Obsidian Pigment Ink onto my background, in the white space where the flower elements weren't there. And then I am attaching everything together and then sticking it down with some foam tape. And I am doing the same with the card panels as well, which I have stuck down on some blank A2 card blanks. And here is a finished look at my 3 projects. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please do let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what sort of color combinations you would use. I would love to know. Take care and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hello crafters, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.